It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show as we settle into another one of my very favorite segments.
I love that laughter.
Baby talk time. Yeah, baby talk. Now, everyone knows that the festive season is the hardest time to convince your little one to eat healthily. Is it so? You should know.
Yeah, we've moved into a phase where he's even arguing with himself at the moment. That little toddler brain is running rampant.
Especially when everyone's around there to try and spoil them as much as possible. Yeah. Now, of course, your child needs different nutrients to grow up and to grow and develop. And to get these nutrients, they need to eat a wide variety of fresh and healthy food. So on today's Baby Talk, we're joined by pediatric dietitian Kath McGaw, who's promised to give us a few tips on how to maintain healthy eating with your little one over the festive season. Foolproof plans. That's what we want, Kath.
Is there such a thing, Kath? Is there such a thing as foolproof? Immediately, the alarm bells start ringing because we've worked so hard to get to a point where he likes healthy things, where he's got his kind of routine, and then we just go and chuck that out the window over the festive season. But you also want them to enjoy that social element and be spoilt a little bit by Granny. So I think first and foremost, for all of us, why is it so important for them to maintain a healthy diet to keep that rhythm going through the festive?
I think the challenge with toddlers is that they are so fickle. So, you just get them onto kind of healthy foods, and the minute they realize there's something else out there that's maybe a little bit more appealing, they could quickly become quite resistant to all the hard work you put in. Having said that, I think what you're saying is also really important. It is a season. And it's not a forever time. So those little treats that come in here and there, the little spoils from Granny and aunties and uncles and that are absolutely fine. And I think you kind of need to let that go. The thing is, always get back on track. Don't say, well, it's all over now and we just carry on eating junk.
Fatalistic.
So the next morning, wake up, give them a healthy breakfast. Always get them started on their good meal of the day. And breakfast is when kids are most hungry and most willing to eat healthy food.
Yes.
As the day goes on,
they're desperate for food. That's all you're going to get.
So if that means giving them like kind of a main meal at breakfast time, then that's great, because then at least you get in those good nutrients early on in the day. Yeah. Before everyone kind of starts
off. So the others are treats, they're not necessarily meal substitutes, they're treats.
Exactly.
But I'm sure there's a way in which you can, as much as we're saying, yes, Granny, Auntie, spoil them, but maybe send through like a WhatsApp group message. Guys, if you want to spoil the kids, do it this way, because there's healthy snacks that you can incorporate into it.
There's healthy snacks, and then you can also spoil them with time and activities and little like stickers that are cute and things like that. It doesn't always have to be with food.
Yeah. Hey, look at that!
Is that a stock photo? Because it's a whole family of models. So they might have just downloaded from some random stock photo thing.
The ultimate healthy looking family.
So also getting them physically active is a way in which you can spoil them and treat them.
Together. We're also busy, and we double income families, and this is the time when a lot of families, both the parents, have off. And if you're able to just engage and spend time with your child, that often means way more than a food choice or something like that.
And of course, there is an opportunity to maintain a rhythm through that, to maybe instill new things. But we'd love to hear from you guys. If you've got any questions about your child's diet, as it stands at the moment going into the festive season, the do's and don'ts, give us a shout, 021 430 9881.
It's my feel-good breakfast show.
Welcome back. You're live with Express. I always have so much going on in my head, and then I hear that little giggle, and I was like, I miss my boy. I just want to be at home. Of course, we've got Kath with us. We are talking about nutrition over the festive period, where I think for all of us, never mind our little ones, generally you throw diets out the window, or you go on diet so that you can throw your diet out the window over the festive season. But I'm finding more and more routine is almost as important as what you are feeding your baby, making sure that they feel comfortable and they know that's the time to eat. So the festive time, how do we keep routine when all routine goes out of the window? How important is it to maintain what we've been doing throughout the year, even though we are shifting gears for the holidays?
I think at the end of the day, you don't want lots of meltdowns, because that's going to make everything unpleasant. And children, as you say, do respond so well to routine. And because food is a necessary part of just feeling well and feeling good and maintaining their blood sugar levels. And often people don't realize, both adults and children, that if your blood sugar drops, you actually
Get hungry.
become almost like a different person beyond hunger. You know, you actually can become quite emotional, or you might become a bit more aggressive. And children can also become very whiny if they are hungry, but they won't necessarily know they're hungry. So it's important to try and keep meal times as consistent as possible. And I think what you mentioned earlier about looking at the treats outside of meal times is actually quite helpful. And even including, you know, we try and do like this 3-course meal. You do like starters, main and pudding, and try and fit it in all in one meal time, as opposed to rather spreading it out. Have like a meal, then have the pudding more as like an afternoon tea or an evening tea snack, so that you can actually have space for pudding, because otherwise you're just so overfull. So find ways to enjoy the treats amidst the routine that you keep in.
And of course, sleepovers also become like a thing. You want to go visit a friend's place over the weekend. So how do you manage that, especially if your little one has allergies?
So the important thing is, obviously, you might need to either just let them know ahead what sort of allergies your child has, and depending on how life-threatening it is would be important. And then maybe take some of your own food with, because sometimes the alternatives are a bit more costly, or people don't have access or know where to get them. Or if you're going, like you're traveling overseas and you're not too sure, and I know a lot of people who are going overseas to visit family and that aren't too sure what is available there. So they will take some of their special foods with if their children are allergic. You might be going to a game farm somewhere or camping, and you need to take some special foods with for your child. Then you need just plan a bit, and then at least your child can just enjoy and be part of the whole festivity.
Not to get dark here, but I mean, this is something that's so important, because we all like a drink over Christmas, and I say that with absolute respect. You want to be able to unwind or relax, but something that this country still hasn't quite grasped is, you know, a pregnant woman and alcohol. Surely there is no, I'll just have a glass of wine or a sip, or is that the case? Am I being too harsh? What is the definitive?
I think, you know, it's something that I've mulled over in my head over years. And one thing that really stuck in my head was, why was South Africa chosen as part of a study that looked internationally at fetal alcohol syndrome? And we were one of the main key pins in that study to provide data. And I think the reality is that it is a huge problem in South Africa. And my rule of thumb is, during pregnancy, avoid alcohol consumption, because it definitely can have an impact, and we don't know at what level it will. So it's not worth it. It's for such a short space of time. And thereafter, you'll have many Christmases and many festivities where you can drink. So,
That's me around the toddler phase. You'll want it. You'll want it around
exactly.
that phase.
Try and keep it limited. Let the toddler run you crazily the next day because you are hungover.
Thank you so much, guys. That's been really, really interesting. Thank you.
All right. Well, thank you very much for that. We really appreciate that. Well, and hopefully that helps you to enjoy the festive season even more, just with a couple of enlightened points here and there.